King, but only slight because of Lynn Vision's roster issues, of course. He used to play with, I think, a player called X-Pro, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, Vadim is having to play instead. And he's been, as we said earlier, in our early game, he's been around the Chinese scene for a very, very long time and has often been the man to step in and play. But yeah, we're going to go into the game now. So let's see how this one pans out. Of course, loser is eliminated, remember, guys. So that's the big factor.
And obviously, speaking of roster, you know, I have to mention Aristo for TYLOO, relatively newer player compared with everyone else on the roster. And if you take a look at their last game against Rare Atom, it has to be said, he didn't really shine as much as we'd maybe expect him to. But of course, you know, finding their footing. First game's a warm-up game, as they say. So hopefully we'll see some more fire out of him in this matchup.
Let's see. But anyway, TYLOO. First time casting TYLOO in quite a long time. So looking forward to seeing how they play. They're already going to get themselves on toward B here. I'm going to quick plant. Envision playing for retake on this one. Vadim does have the smoke and the kit, but whether they can get it into the action is another matter. Amelia goes looking in mid and actually finds attack immediately. Dan King has just managed to catch Zaka and he's going super aggressive for the second kill. Looking for a third, but now he's going to be out of bullets. Has to switch in the open. It forces someone to go for a peek. He does get his kill, but Westmoreland was always going to be there on that quick trade. And Envision will get their way back onto the site and get the bomb defused.
This is a good start. You know, we mentioned about the earlier series, and Lynn Vision looked pretty damn rough on this map earlier today. So hopefully we'll get to see some stronger signs of life out of this team. And as we've said, already off to a good start. Not able to deny the plant. So of course they are going to be facing up against a much stronger buy than they would have liked, but they themselves are going to be able to buy in. Zaka instantly coming out with the Scoucher, and we've seen what he's capable of with this weapon in his hand. So I think having that really early on, having that advantage, could definitely be the leverage they need to get themselves that second round.
Now see, as we so know, current meta of Counter-Strike, if you get that bomb planted on the T-pistol, very often a buy like this is what you're looking for. Fight kills across the board, but when you have no utility, that's the problem. You're having to peek dry, and that makes it an easy work for a CT side on occasion. Galil's in play. Kills may be coming through, but only for the CT side. Aristo will manage to tap down another one. They get 2 kills, but Westmoreland finishes it off nicely. CT side stays intact for now. 3 players alive, and TYLOO will be forced to eco.
Now that scout works out. You know, I often talk about the threat of a weapon like that, a scout, an AWP, something to that effect. Even if you're not necessarily hitting the shots, as soon as an enemy team realizes that's there, it forces them to adapt part of their playstyle. So do they play it slightly more passive? They're more likely to use a lot more utility, and that's what we saw. A lot of flashes coming out to try and force Zaka off of his position. And as TYLOO move in onto the site, Lynn Vision are able to pick that up and put him down. So some really great work there from Lynn Vision, and starting this one out with a very early kill onto Dan King. Looking like this might be
some flying down to 1250s, I think a little bit much, but I think I'm not opposed to going for a Lil in the following round. 3 AKs anyway, at least. And there you go. It might be just a focus on only one piece of utility anyway, so he'll be fine. Might still go for 5 AKs. 4150 is certainly enough. Just can't get full util. See what he goes for. There we go. So he's happy with a singular grenade, going for the Molotov. Now it's time for TYLOO to get themselves involved with this game. As we said, Ancient has been a bit of a flip-floppy map for them, but maybe trying to change something up after their previous couple of series against Lynn Vision, after it was, of course, Vertigo and Anubis consistently in the first 2. So trying to at least play, for sure, play at least one different map. Don't mind that. Changing things up. Ooh, Zaka catches Summer going for the jump spots. See you later.
Nice little opener there for the AWP. More or less vacated mid, and Danking will take advantage of that. Gets that first kill over in Donut. They start rotating over. Bomb is still towards spawn, so need to be cognizant of that. And of course, Lynn Vision sending over the reinforcements. The backup. Starry's in a good spot.
Oh!
A Aristo, what was that? Nasty flick. A site cracked open. But the bomb is still towards the off to fetch it now. Aristo on his way, and they need to make sure Lynn Vision don't rotate back in before they can get there.
That is not something you see too often. Aristo's mid-tapping, or at least mid-burst, and he just transfers over to the player peeking him. I think he'll be shocked himself that he managed to get that one. Unbelievable, but the round still might go the CT side's way. Vadim catches Freeman on the rotation. And now with Dan King so low, and the bomb not yet planted, it should still be a Lynn Vision round, you'd think. Attacker needs to live up to his name now. 1 versus 3. Goes for the swing towards CT, but now he's certainly known he's going to get caught in the side from Donut, from the coach stand-in Vadim. Lynn Vision will go up 4-2-0. Aristo's heroics go unfounded, and as we can see in our overlay, Starry actually said nice shot in chat to Aristo off the back of that one, and deservedly so.
Definitely. Love the patience from Vadim as well towards that mid area. Realizes there's probably a player nearby. Here's the sound of Freeman dropping down. Now, Freeman could be looking back to see if another player is coming from that side, but no, he's got his sights trained on where he's going, and Vadim is able to get a nice little kill for himself there. And again, you know, TYLOO left bomb towards spawn for quite a long time, and yes, they were able to get the bomb towards the site, get it planted, but they had to take a lot of time going back to fetch it. They might have been better off if maybe they'd done that a bit earlier or left the bomb a little bit closer, but be that as it may, a 4-0 here for Lynn Vision. TYLOO still able to buy in, but starting to look a little bit weary in terms of that cash.
Zaka in line with the AWP. Unfortunately, TYLOO has chosen not to put that smoke down to block him off, so that's a freebie to open up. However, Attacker will trade it very well. Bomb alarm go down, but Westmoreland always hit the wall bang from Cave. What a frag that is, and he's gone back to check Freeman as well. That's some superb work from Westmoreland. This makes this almost impossible for Attacker and Summer, two of the TYLOO old boys. But even legends of the roster sometimes can't get legendary plays. Spray from Summer does pre-5 Adam nicely, and he knows there's a low key player in toward Jaguar. They're actually not facing him very well here. Finally, Story will get it done. For a second, they might give Summer too many opportunities, but no problem. And that wall bang from Cave was a perfect denial at the right time. If you get that one right, it can cause havoc, and it did this time.
Much better look from Lynn Vision so far as well, right? From what we saw a little bit earlier on. Much more controlled. Really feels like they're denying a lot of what TYLOO are trying to do here. And to be fair, I mean, TYLOO haven't been terribly telegraphed or terribly, you know, stagnatory. They've changed up a lot of their approaches. They're trying different things to see if they can kind of catch Lynn Vision off guard, but so far nothing has really gone their way. Now this is likely their last buy. They've got a bit of a loss streak going here, but they're quite heavily into this, so need to make some magic happen here. And Zach has just been so good on this AWP consistently, and we're seeing him in a nice little spot for himself as well, but currently angling towards that B site.
There's some utility there. Actually, both of them blind in the end, having to fall back off the line. Westmoreland has yet to die in this game. Shows you how good he's been. Round 6, still not hit the deck. Sorry. Spray can be spotted, but oh, little did he know. You need only one more bullet to complete that kill, but that nade still might. Oh, Summer survives on 4 HP. You lucky little rascal. Gets away with that one. But there might be some decent pressure for TYLOO. Walking up toward mid. Has a bit of a chance to throw some utility in toward Donut and show more presence. And now Aristo's working his way in toward the outskirts of B as well. But during that time, that's exactly when Lynn Vision are going hunting for information. Vadim goes for the swing and gets good damage, but can't get the kill. And now Westmoreland's into that trade, gets it, but there'll be more players coming his way, and he can't strafe away. 4v3 for TYLOO as the smokes come in.
There's a flank coming around the back here as well. Amelia, he heard. Oh, and Summer catches him on the cross. Only 2 players left alive here for the to attempt to retake with. They want to win this round. They know that they'll break TYLOO's economy if they can make it happen. But with so few players left, difficult to find a way in. They do still have a kit, but that's not going to be enough. They have to make a move here. They've got to do something or they've got to save. Make a choice.
Yeah, I think they're already deciding to fall away. If they got 1 kill right now, I think they'd maybe consider it, because of course, they know that TYLOO's money won't be built up. I would like to see them stick around a little bit more, though, in terms of looking for exit frags. Because, obviously, the more damage you do, after T-Side has finally got their one round, less money they have for the following. Beyond Galil's, maybe a few Mac 10s if only one player survives, but Vision happy to keep their guns safe instead, which isn't the wrong decision. It's just, you know, a bit of a nitpicky choice that sometimes I do mention. So TYLOO are off the board finally. T-side, not looking too bad. But now it's up to them to double down on it. They've already got, as I said, multiple chances in afterplants, but all the afterplants have been very disadvantageous situations. So if they can get themselves into a position which is a bit more of their liking, like that previous round, then we could get a bit of a closer game, because they are getting some progress into these sites.
I really like the way that they approached the sites in that round. That's much slower take, drawing out a lot of that utility very early on. And they were down to very little utility of their own by the time they actually did aggress in, but they knew that they really chipped away at what Lynn did. They play that quite nicely. Again, we're showing that much slower pacing here. Draw out some of that util. Basically starve some of that information. I mean, you take a look at Aristo, for example. Position, not necessarily known. It's kind of been called out just yet. So let's see small things. And mid is completely open as well. So they have a lot of options available to them right now.
Yeah, little do TYLOO know, they can just walk up and get a few kills right now, go for a bit of a flank. Of course, it is being slightly watched by Vadim, as you can see, sort of further back toward B at the moment. But it's only sort of a glance. So I have now moved a player back in towards CT, and Westmoreland has crept into the corner. I don't think Dan King has seen it. There's no reason to be checking the left. If he knew he was on the right, it's going to be awful for Westmoreland. Just pulls out the smoke as Dan King advances. Of course, takes time to pull out your weapon once again. So, opening pick for TYLOO. 30 seconds in the round to go. Vadim close on the left-hand side with, of course, a push down the ramp from Zaka. Time is now certainly ticking, so that's why A will be the answer for TYLOO. And Starry is here looking for some damage. Amelia, long range, goes for the duel. It's removed by Aristo, so it has to be that Temple player to do some damage. Vadim from CT, and there are all the frags coming through. 8 seconds to get the bomb planted. It's being covered by Summer, but not anymore. Denied and removed. Dan King's on a big flank, but it's way too late. The flank was planned for a bomb plant, and the bomb plant did not come in. So Lynn Vision will reach 6.
Solid retake, I felt, from Lynn Vision, right? I mean, it was looking a little dire, a little touch and go. It was a nice fake from TYLOO. They do a little bit of presence towards B. They start to rotate over. They leave one player, continuing to make a bit of noise there so that, you know, the rotations don't come too quickly over towards A site. But I feel like, so I enjoy TYLOO's slower play, but I think that they've hit the brakes a little too hard. Like in that last round, it took so long to finally get the bomb down, even though they had control of the site for a considerable amount of time. And unfortunately, it did cost them in the end. It gave Lynn Vision a lot of time to rotate around. It completely denied the efficacy of their flank. And ultimately, it kind of shot them in the foot. So, slower play is good, but finding that balance between slow and actually getting something done.
Yeah, if Dan King was, as I said, if they had the bomb planted with one other player alive, Dan King's play was really good. Probably would have recovered the round, but that is not the way the cookie crumbled in the end. I like crumbled cookies, but not when they taste like that. Early round for Vadim, once again being the man to push deep in toward the outside of B doors. Summer is sort of there and giving it a glance, and this is the standoff we so often see at this position of the map. As you can see, the other 4 players are very occupied with sorting out Jaguar at the moment. So if Adam goes a bit deeper, he might be able to catch a timing, but he's just waiting for it at the moment. Can be a bit of a right-eye peek for Summer if he swings the line. Vadim will be a bit stuck, so as you can see, his buddy will stick out. Shadow seen, though, directly below him. And Vadim then peeks aggressively and gets 2 for it. He's done his job there for sure. And Zaka holding that line. Catch the second player crossing. Lovely pick by Freeman. But unfortunately for TYLOO, Westmoreland is in toward cave and covering that one comfortably. We'll try and go for a plant, but it could be peeked from the right-hand side in a second, so he goes to the swing. Doesn't deny the plant, but does deny the frag. And that's 7-1 for Lynn Vision. TYLOO getting no progress here at all, other than some bomb plants, really.
That was a great play from Vadim, to be honest. I mean, a really, really aggressive stance could have been punished very early on, but obviously backed up by the AWP play. So even if he's only able to get one, it should get traded relatively easily. But he's able to get two for his troubles before he gets taken out, and that opens up a lot of space. It shuts down a lot of what TYLOO were doing, because in this particular round, they hadn't really set up any flanks or anything like that. It was very much a death ball in towards that B site. So as soon as they lose those first two players, basically all advantage is done. It's gone. So unfortunately, that round, once again, in the hands of Lynn Vision. And TYLOO getting to that kind of knife's edge on the economy again, are going to be able to buy into this round, but should they lose this one, could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's not looking too good at the moment. Bomb plants are all well and good, but if you can't convert them on those after plants, then it's not really much to show for it. Amelia coming in, going super fast on that one, going for the peak, but maybe TYLOO changing up the pace. Is looking very good indeed. Themselves an opening frag. But there is a 4 versus 4, and Danking's being tagged down to 10 HP off the back of that. Bomb's being planted in the open, and it's being planted as the smoke fades toward Donut. It's another nightmarish situation for TYLOO. Everything's going wrong for them. Aristo on that lurk is spotted by Zaka. Restmelon with a beautiful double transfer. What a bit of a nightmare that is.
It really does feel like nothing TYLOO try works out. They've tried a slightly faster pace, not like explosive, but a little bit faster. They've tried slow, they've tried really slow, they've tried fakes, they've tried direct hits. Nothing seems to be going their way. Lynn Vision are just constantly on top of those rotations. The communication between these players is fantastic. They're quick to react, and TYLOO just floundering, feeling very much like a fish out of water here.
Yeah, and then they're trying to use speed instead, and that's not really working either. That previous round had a great entry and a great position to work with, but at the moment, nothing's really working for them at all. I mentioned, of course, recently T-side Ancient can be slightly, ever so slightly easier these days, with the CT spawn being pushed back and timings now favouring the T slightly more, but overall it is still CT-sided on average. We're most certainly seeing that today. I wouldn't say it's just CT-sided at the moment, it's Lynn Vision-sided. Everything's going their way. Aristo 1v5 with that Galil, recovered, but only one kill, if he can get it, he'd be happy with. There it is, removes Vadim. That's an AK that can be picked up, but there'll be two players holding this line. And there we go, Zach on the low HP, doesn't matter, 3 kills for him, 10 kills on the board for us as well. As you can see, the scores across the doors as well. Bring up the scoreboard, if possible, please. Sir Jonas, thank you very much. Westmelon, 12-2. Starry, 10-1. Top 2 players on the leaderboard, dying a total of 3 times in 10 rounds. That is not good if you're TYLOO.
Honestly, I'm getting a little bit of whiplash from like the previous series Lynn Vision Ancient to this series Lynn Vision Ancient. It's genuinely like night and day, and I think that says a lot about Eruption, but it says a lot about TYLOO in a very unfortunate way. But TYLOO take advantage of this aggressive push here. They do manage to get one. It's instantly traded. It does give them a little bit of an advantage here. Quite a bit of space to work with. Need to be aware of Lynn Vision's very aggressive positioning here, however, as they start moving towards the B site, and it's the B site, that very site, that's so fortified.
Freeman, this time, Vadim playing smoke fade, shift away from it, and that could be his downfall, and it will be. There are 2 players fighting him anyway, down either way, but there's still a chance for a recovery here because Freeman was very low. And of course, Summer, he was low in that fight as well, helping out, so there's a good chance at a recovery on the swing from Zaka. He's got a really good timing, but misses a crucial shot. The counter strafe there was a little bit off, and he had a blurry scope. That's just a slight error on his own timing. Can happen to the best of us. And that was a great chance to recover it all. And Zaka desperately wants to peek a bit wider and try and deny this bomb plant, but he can't for now. So TYLOO finally have an after plant in an advantageous situation.
retake. 2 players trying to push in from the same position. Advantage is a nice crossfire, but it does get smoked off. Amelia blinded out, not able to get anything done. And of course, they expect the last player to be coming from there. And Zachar is taken out. TYLOO finally find themselves a second on the board.
Good to see from them, and that was much better worked out. They not only got themselves in an afterplant and an advantage, they also had good crossfires. Lynn Vision could not fight their way through that, despite Zachar being in and around the action after he's been so good in this game. But that miss in that previous round was, in the end, one of the crucial ones. Hit that. Story. Attacker tries to attack, and his attack is stunted by Amelia. He tries to go through that smoke toward mid, removed instantly. Another good opening pick.
Amelia completely blinded as well. Do a reflex. Oh!
Okay.
Nice shot there. I wasn't sure he was going to get that one. I saw the shots being fired and I was a little concerned, but no, he does manage to come out on top of that one. TYLOO down to 3 players left alive so quickly. The round begins and you're down into a huge disadvantage. Now, how do you reaggress? B site, heavily fortified. They do that round after round. That seems to be where they set up their strongest defense. Mid's open, but only 3 players left alive. Going through mid, taking that time. It's way too dangerous, so opting to push into this B site. And so much utility coming out to just stop them, to slow that down, to deny that space.
B on Ancient is a, not by shape or by comparison, but in terms of stylistically, can be a bit like Inferno on B, where you know it's quite hard to retake this particular side. So you go there late, just trade your way in. There's always a chance you can hold them off on the retake, and they're going to have a chance at that. 3 versus 5. But of course there are kits in play and good after plant, or after retake utility I should say, on that CT side. Smokes and flashes. Smoke will be in toward cave and it'll block off a couple of players as well. So it's going to be Freeman for a second or two. How many can he get? 1 for now on top of the box, looking for information, but he gets traded, and now it's only Summer who can make his way that entire time in toward that position. He's most certainly screwed. Westman tries to distract it. Wallbang comes through, but he's out of bullets. And just imagine, maybe he could have got that wallbang if that AK was full of ammunition. But I think he would have got pushed anyway. Either way, we will never know. That's for an alternate universe. But in this universe, Lynn Vision have double digits on the board.
I got a little nervous. 5 players all pushing in from CT spawn in one direction. But of course it's a 5 versus 3. They had some utility available, and they player in the re-aggression. But ultimately they come out on top of that one. Quite clean. Solid retake. TYLOO. 3 rounds left in this half, and they need all 3 of those rounds if they want any semblance of a CT side. They have a full bite. There's a lot. Oh no, Vadim, not the same thing again. Surely not.
Yeah, I mentioned, of course, that Vadim was not necessarily a liability, but he was a weaker link for Lynn Vision in that previous game. But he's not a bad player by any means. Just because he's the coach, do not rule him out. And that's the second time, as you say, he's managed to line up 2 from that position on a good timing. Up to 11 kills, I believe, in this particular half as well.
That's the coach brain coming in there.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, he knows his timings for sure. Just about it. And Starry could know his too. Freeman just looks still toward Donut as Starry swings from CT doors. And that's not going to work out for him. Summer and Aristo. 2v5. Just looking for damage. And Vision looking for at least an 11-4.
Should be easy to do. About it. TYLOO with only 2 players here. So we're already looking at an 11-2. Maybe Summer can make this. Maybe they can get 1 or 2 kills. Not that it really matters at this point, but there you go. Arista will be able to take down West Melon.
There's a chance now. There's a genuine chance. Because the bomb's going to go down. They have a smoke up on the left. And, okay, now there's less of a chance. But Summer can still 1v3 this. I've seen it before. Again, I'll try and bait the high HP player in, but in the end, hilariously, Vadim, even though he did peak first on that low HP, to bait his teammate in. in Zaka. There's Vadam's wide swinging and crouching USP that finishes off the job. So 11-2 confirmed. TYLOO, they are not looking hot so far today. They may have taken the map off of Rare Atom earlier on, but Envision right now are besting them comfortably. And there are the scores. Look, no one above 7 kills. That's always worrying.
Vadam doing really well in this series. We were a bit concerned in the previous series, and we kind of put a caveat, a little bit of an asterisk on Lynn Vision's performance, like, oh, well, they're playing with their coach, you know. But he's definitely stepped up in this particular series. So has Aristo. He was one of the players that I was a little bit concerned about for TYLOO. But unfortunately, it's just not quite enough. As I mentioned, right, whatever TYLOO try, Lynn Vision seem to have the answer, consistently shutting down all of their attempts. We've only got 2 rounds left here. TYLOO would love to take them, snag them for themselves, put them in the back pocket. But this is likely their last buy. If they don't win this one, there's no chance they win. Well, I say no chance. Very slight chance.
You can't rule anything out. I'm sure you of that one. Starry, that's actually a superb job to get 2 on that one. That was almost impossible. But he hits the 2 bullets required on that final piece of the spray. And Zaka, ooh, that's faded out there a bit by Danking. But it doesn't even matter. Danking's entry, while it may have been pretty hot, and he is going on a big flank, the lineup for Amelia was beautiful. And now Danking is left in a pretty impossible situation. If he can get a pre-fire onto Westmelon, or never mind. He's been spotted. He'll fall away. And they'll play an even better crossfire toward the bottom of mid. Where the bomb is, of course. No need to overpeak. They're playing it properly. And Danking knows it.
I'd love to have seen them set up Danking a little bit better. I mean, we saw a lot of those attempts at flanks coming out. And very often the timing was just wrong. But I feel like if you can communicate it that little bit better, you can get a lot of value out of that. Which sounds like a very kind of forehead thing to say. But, you know, considering how Lynn Vision have had such good control. But I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of an attempt made to set up those flanks. Because I think that might have been... It was the one thing that they didn't really put as many attempts into or as many resources into. And maybe that would have been the key. Danking managing to save the AWP into the next round. So at least they'll have that little bit of firepower. Because, of course, for the rest... You know, I'm not even convinced that holding onto the AWP is the best idea. I actually feel like maybe he's just holding onto it for the save and then he's going to swap over. Because I feel like an AWP with a very janky buy might not get the results. You might have been better off with just having an AK. Because the AWP hasn't really had value or had results. But maybe they make it happen this time. It's the last round and a half, so it's now or never.
Yeah, I mean, why not, I guess, right? You think we're 12-2 behind, may as well get one of the best guns in the game and see what we can do with it. Even if it hasn't been successful thus far. Lynn Vision have been very comfortable and consistent with their utility toward mid to stop the most common position for an AWP to opening pick from. Boost will come in though, and that could be a way to get something done. If Starry shows himself, we're in a split second. Could be spotted, but guess what? Starry has seen him first. And that's absolutely disgusting. He had a pretty poor series earlier on, probably by his own standards. I'm sure he would admit that himself. But he's 15-5 in this one, and that was a dirty opener. Nice pre-fire from Freeman, at least. We'll move Westmelon from the cubby. So, back into a 4v4. Bomb can be recovered from spawn. And Starry and Vadam still lurking around the B site. Currently the only 2 players there. So, there's a chance for TYLOO to get some entries here.
Get that same back again. Starry, however, will trade it back and get a second. But ultimately will whittle away to 2 versus 2. Now, Bomb should be able to go down. There's smokes up. Zaka won't be able to deny this. There is a flank coming in from Amelia, and this pincer could be everything. Last two players from TYLOO have to watch both of these angles. They're completely on top of their game, and no one is watching the main entrance. Now Freeman, the only player left alive, bring this round home for TYLOO, and it's not to be. Amelia gets the last 2 kills of the round, and the defuse will come through, putting us on a 13-2 at the half. We're going to take a short break, folks. When we return, we'll have the second half.
You're in my heart till I'm weak and old. I carry you, you're bright in my soul, making me glow. I carry you wherever I go, wherever I go. I carry you till I'm weak and old. I carry you wherever I go, wherever I go. Can't go if it ain't above my door. Don't go, my phone got my shit on the play mode. Don't talk no more. Yeah, I heard it over before. So cold, I'm froze. Only thing on me is gold. Can't go if it ain't above my door. Don't go, my phone got my shit on the play mode. Don't talk no more. Yeah, I heard it over before. So cold, I'm froze. Only thing on me is gold. You got me feeling some way.
We are back. 13-2 to Lynn Vision. Might not be too long before they close out map 1. Pretty impressive, I've got to say, from them so far. TYLOO have been a bit absent. Only had 2 rounds. And they've had plenty of bomb plants. They haven't really had the numbers alive to ever win a lot of those clutch rounds. And Vision taking advantage of that. Can they close it out in the pistol? Maybe push it forward to an even more comfortable scoreline. Let's find out.
Definitely a very tough start here. Bearing in mind, this was TYLOO's map pick. Not a great start for them here. I mean, we had wondered about it, right? We were looking at it like, oh, they haven't really played Ancient against this team, and the last time they did, it was a close affair, but it's still one way, and they pick into it again. It's just not going well for them. Danking, however, does open things out, but it's instantly traded back Opens up a lot of space here, but Freeman's in a good spot to catch some rotations.
A little bit dangerous there. But Vadim has pushed forward, and that's worked out beautifully. Straight through CT doors, taking Summer as well. And now Attacker and Freeman are in a difficult position. Super aggressive from Attacker, trying to do something with it. Now Vadim's only one bullet from death. This could be recovered pretty quickly here. There we go. So now, suddenly, out of nowhere, Westmelon, from a 3v2, gets a 1v2. Facing Attacker, now dinked down, but he's getting peeked from two different angles. And Attacker with one bullet left in the clip. Just shoulder peek pre-fires him out of the round. So TYLOO have a very, very slight lifeline. CT side, pistol, success. And without a bomb plant, Lynn Vision should be fully ecoing here. So, shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, this was exactly what they needed. Pistol round to give them a little bit of a leg up. Of course, with them being at such a massive deficit. Necessary. More than necessary. So, of course, they will force into this. Nice little buy for themselves. They know the advantage here. They want to push that as much as they can. We did see some upgraded pistols, however, from Lynn Vision. And we know what the Asian scene is like when they have a couple of deagles to play with. So this could still be a dangerous round.
Trying to run down Freeman with the FAMAS. Do manage to pre-fire him out of the round nicely, but Aristo was always going to be there just in case. Certainly very stuck. He gets removed by Aristo nicely. TYLOO now have a chance to build up something in this game. Only though, if they can beat the following Lynn Vision full buy. AKs across the board coming in. They're going to still have their bonus buy with the FAMAS and the MP9s. This is Lynn Vision's chance to stop any risk of a possible recovery right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to come through with a much heavier buy than what TYLOO have. And if Lynn Vision win this round, this map is pretty much over. So TYLOO have a serious job ahead of them. After losing one player, they do reinvest in. They're more for themselves. So there's that little bit of extra punch too, in fact. Try and help them out here. Some good presence. Some fairly deep map control. They're giving up that space now. They're pulling back. They're waiting to see what Lynn Vision do. And I don't hate this. I don't want to be too quick on the draw. If they give Lynn Vision too much rope, they might find themselves hung with it.
Bit of controlling toward mid with Westmelon just holding in case TYLOO want to push through Jaguar to try and catch them off guard. Decent setup. The smoke will come in toward Donut to possibly give them more space to push up toward the outskirts of B. Only two players here at the moment. So you would think at this point, just delaying the clock and TYLOO need to guess would be the way to go. And it's sort of playing to back of each other at the moment, but if they go through a smoke, that's never going to work. We saw that earlier actually in our first Ancient game today. Now Freeman will take up that control, but Attacker actually shifts back into Vadim, so kill back in response, but look at TYLOO picturing right now. They're directly behind the Lynn Vision attack. Now Zaka's left in a very tough situation. A chance for a clutch though. And I think he knows where both these players are coming from. He's checking for Aristo, looking to try and pre-fire, and there we go. And now he has a free path to run on toward the A-bomb site. Dan King is hunting him down very, very quickly. 10 seconds to go. Plant behind the box, so Zaka is safe. But look how close Dan King's going to be. Does Zaka realise it? I think he does. Now the standoff will commence. Spots the headshot, but Zaka hits it. Zaka is just way too good for TYLOO in this game. And Lynn Vision reached 14-4. TYLOO could not win a clutch to save their life on the first half. At the first time of asking, Lynn Vision's Zaka steps up.
Disgustingly close there. And what I loved watching was like how many crossfires were set up in that. Every time a player went down, there was another player from that team to follow that up with a trade kill. And then as soon as that trade came through, there was a player from the previous team or from the first team who would immediately follow that up. And they just kind of kept falling like dominoes until it came down to the last two. And yeah, Zaka, I mean, he's been such a standout player for this Lynn Vision squad. Now, both teams, of course, in a bit of a weird spot to cash, but Lynn Vision is not concerned in the least. Oh my god, how? How does Aristo get so much damage onto Vadim and then Emilia dies after?
That is some classic 5-7 behaviour there. Such a powerful pistol, probably the most overpowered one in the game at the moment. Absolutely crazy. how much damage that thing can do, especially if you push in slowly toward it. There is a Tech 9, of course. Oh, sorry, a Mac 10. Said on the same as you from earlier. There is a Mac 10 available on Westmelon, but Vadim being only 3 HP after his early recovery kill. Now that's a bit of an issue. TYLOO rotated 2 players toward the bomb, bounced around a bit before entry towards the site, and then Starry peeks behind it nicely. But again, damage is such an issue. Even though it's a 3v4, Starry and Vadim are both the walking wounded, and they're going to go for a bit of a full-time flank here. Boosting up Westmelon on the box instead. And Vadim, talking of flanks, he's continuing on his. I thought he was joining up with his team. I was very much mistaken. He's now in a brilliant position to finish off this round as soon as they turn the corner. He's holding the line. There's the information. And there's no kit for this defuse. They should be able to get this one done. Nice pre-fire from Starry with the Glock. Pulls it out, gets it done. Now time is way too much of an issue for Freeman. Tries to bait out Zaka, but he can't find him. And even though he finds the kill in the end, the bomb is going to explode. 15-4 Lynn Vision. That was a brilliant fight.
Match point. Or map point, you'd rather say. And that was really close. I mean, if you think about it, if TYLOO had managed to come into this half with a little bit more room to play with, then these really expensive rounds that they're making for Lynn Vision would have worked out so well for them. But because they came in with such a tiny scoreline, it makes no difference whatsoever. This economic damage is not the point. You have to win rounds, and unfortunately, they just have not been able to make that happen. So now, Lynn Vision, every opportunity in the world.
Nice double peaks from TYLOO, but as you mentioned earlier, Lynn Vision so good on these insta trades. Even if they're low HP, they somehow managed to get them done. Starry up to 22 and 10 now, but down to 2 HP from his issues that he managed to deal with. Attacker CZ, Summer Deagle, Freeman MP9. Guns switched over and recovered. 1 player donut. 1 player A site, 1 player looking for a possible mid push. So TYLOO aren't in the best of spots actually to defend against any Lynn Vision plan here. Someone would have to hit a very tasty long range 1dig to be able to do something with this. And now Freeman's here with the MP9 too, so they go towards donut. Choice for Lynn Vision. Which is always very dangerous, but the trades at least are good. And Starry, of course, is now the last one alive, and he was low from earlier on, so there's something ridiculous happens here, which it most certainly will not. TYLOO will stay alive for just a little while longer.
Stay of execution. They managed to give themselves a little bit of breathing room here. And, I mean, we spoke about economic damage and how it might have made a difference if they'd had a bit more room to wiggle with. That being said, after winning that round, Lynn Vision are in a tight spot. This could be TYLOO getting themselves a 6th, although we have to bear in mind they do need 10 consecutive rounds to get themselves into overtime, which I remember vividly saying in the very first series on this map, but of course not in favour of Lynn Vision. So yeah, very interesting turn of events here.
No, tummy, the pistols. No, okay, we're all good. We're all good. The round's going to go the way we expected it to. Good damage from Lynn Vision, but sorted out by TYLOO comfortably. 3 players alive, money okay. And that doesn't even matter anymore. There's only 1 round from losing this map. Just need rounds. And that was actually a full force fight from Lynn Vision after that one. So they're going to be ecoing this one. Give TYLOO a 7th. There's probably another quick round coming in. Just know that they need to figure out 1 more to get this game sorted. And I'll go in toward Vertigo, which is finally a change up today from the maps we've already seen. With a great chance at closing it out because, of course, that it will be Eco about to be munched up. There could be a chance at a bomb plant here, but of course they got no smoke for donuts, so it's going to be pretty difficult. And they are planting open. Move. Trying, but that's all they can do. Starry with the Deagle. Looking for a bit of a pre-fire. Go. You're only the one. And And that is the 7th confirmed, as expected. Now, what do you want to see from Lynn Vision? I want to see something fast, but with guns this time. Proper guns.
All right, everybody pick up a shotgun.
What's your shotgun of choice?
Oh.
If you don't say XM, everything else is the wrong answer.
Do you know what? It's our first time working together, and I feel like I need to make a good impression. So XM, 100%.
There you go. There you go. Nod from the observer. They know what's up.
There you go.
XM is, I think, slightly ahead of the Mag 7, but I do love the XM. We'll have to see.
It'll be really great as Zeus.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of Zeus kills actually recently. I think Jerry from Fours has been very happily picking that one up on full eco rounds recently, and actually been getting some really decent success with it. It removes obviously a full buy from the other team, so even though you don't get any kill reward, why not? It does do damage.
Very slow pace here from Lynn Vision. Don't want to give away anything unnecessarily. Want to close this out as cleanly as possible. Some nice early chip damage onto Danking. Oh, Smelling. A little bit of a peek through here, see if he can spot anyone. Not sure if he's aware of it. No! Oh!
Wow.
The timing on that, the swing, the flick, he actually manages to get that kill, and that is a huge opener here. TYLOO very quick to start that rotation in over towards that B site. Media could be on a wild flanking mission, although the path that he's taking, it's going to take him a long time to get into position.
30 seconds to go, and look what's about to come down. Only Angels. There is no utility apart from one flashbang on Westmelon, so it's going to be pure wide swings coming in to possibly end off this map. Westmelon behind the boxing cave. Freeman desperately needs his kill, and he knows it, but Lynn Vision have completely left the scenario. How many can Listo get? There's one being planted, but not necessarily very safely. Oh, actually, they managed to hop off the plant for a second. It was a little bit scary, but they get it down with a second to spare. You can see Aristo most certainly spooked Lynn Vision there, but they managed to sort it out. So 3v2 on the afterplant. As I said, not a single piece of utility to be seen anywhere across the server. And that's the bigger problem for the CTs more than the Ts, I would say. Freeman and Danking both have defuse kits, but Amelia's playing this one carefully and playing off Zaka and Starry toward Donut. They spend a fuel swing, and there it is. Plenty of damage done to Freeman. All they need is a double swing, and there it is. 3, 2, 1. A success for Lynn Vision on map 1, and that is a very, very convincing win. 16-7. That is not just a win, but even more impressive than we thought it ever would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the slaughter that I expected it to be when we got to the half, but it was pretty dominant, pretty decisive, and pretty one-sided. I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited for the second map that I think we should jump straight into our break so we can come straight back.